You've got ideas, you've got ambition, you've got no time, or so you think. I'm Marissa Lonick, and I help busy moms with big dreams and no time. Join me each week as I dive into time management strategies, goal setting and achieving framework, and inspiring guests who are juggling mom life, work life, fill in the blank life. Dreams don't work unless you do, and just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't still make it happen, whatever it means to you. Welcome to the Mama Work It podcast. Hello, mama friends, and welcome back to another amazing episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I'm coming at you this week with a topic I think will resonate with many. It's not glam, it's not fun, it's hard and ugly and sometimes even a little shameful. And we often treat it as an excuse with humor or even confuse it with grace. And that is feeling stuck. If you're scratching your head right now wondering what the stuck I'm even talking about, let me explain a little further. Being stuck is not a good place to be. Whether you're stuck in a job you don't like, in a relationship you're not happy in, a schedule you feel controls you rather than you control it, a toddler chair you thought you'd be able to get out of, but nope, your booty is stuck. Feeling stuck can really suck. You're stuck on hold with the insurance company. You're stuck in traffic. You're stuck not making enough money. You're stuck in a perpetually busy life, always doing for everyone and never feeling like you can just shut your brain off and rest. You're stuck doing dishes. You're stuck watching Encanto again. You're stuck, like literally stuck to the construction paper you've been gluing for the arts and craft project you've been doing with your preschooler. Feeling stuck is not ideal, and feeling stuck is the opposite of what any of us want. We want to feel like we have clear goals, clear direction, are making progress in that path every day, and are just on the right track. And feeling stuck stops us, blocks us, demotivates us from even taking one small step to move. Now, people often confuse being stuck with other things or make light of this impactful and debilitating place to be. They don't say they're stuck. They say, it's not the right time. It's not the right season. I just had a baby, so I can't. I don't have enough money. I'm too tired. I'm not experienced enough. I need more followers. I don't know how to do that. I'm not ready. Guess what? While some of those things may sound really valid, they're excuses. They're not legit reasons. And girl, you're using them to cover up the fact that you're stuck. So own it. You stuck. Some people take that stuckness and instead of doing something about it, they say, hey, you know what? You know what would be more fun and less uncomfortable? Let's just poke some fun at this. Let's make our lives like a stand-up comedy routine. Let's just laugh about the fact that this is the situation instead of feeling that discomfort and actually doing something about it. Now, don't get it twisted. This doesn't mean you shouldn't laugh at yourself. This doesn't mean you shouldn't take yourself that seriously. This doesn't even mean that you shouldn't make light of situations sometimes because that's how you cope. That's all fine. But when this becomes habitual, it becomes toxic. And then that becomes your normal, your baseline, your homeostasis of where you're at. So even though on the surface level you feel good, shit, you're laughing through life. You are stuck, girlfriend. You don't feel fulfilled. You aren't tapping into what you really want in life. You aren't living to your full potential. And then lastly, I want to touch upon the confusion people have between being stuck and giving themselves grace. This can be easy to flip-flop, but also a chronic condition you don't want to inherit. You see, there is a sizable difference between being stuck in your own shit and treating yourself with kindness and grace. When you've had a bad day or even a day that just hasn't gone the direction you intended for it to go, and you intentionally decide that you're going to let yourself rest, or you're going to eat some ice cream, or you're going to watch terrible reality TV because you just need that right now, that's grace. You don't feel guilty about it. You know the next day you will wake up with a fresh perspective and start over. You're intentionally and intuitively listening to what you need and providing it. When this becomes a cycle happening over and over and over again, you're constantly allowing any and every mishap to shape your day, take over your goals, overcome your mood and your motivation. And what happens? You're stuck. Do you see the difference there? I have felt stuck many times in life. I felt stuck in my employment. I felt stuck financially. I've felt stuck in my business. I felt stuck making decisions, big ones like moving or buying a home, and small ones like what color to dye my hair. I felt stuck in my own personal development journey and what steps I needed to take to continue growing as a person, as a mom, as a wife, as a human. It's not a good feeling, and it can feel really hard to get unstuck sometimes. So today, I want to share with you some simple things you can do if you're feeling stuck in any area of life. Because the sooner you can recognize that, the sooner you can take action and you can get unstuck. Okay, so the first thing you need to do if you're feeling stuck is you need to pinpoint the area or situation that you're feeling stuck in, and you need to ask yourself what being unstuck looks like to you. So if it's your job, is it that you want to be employed elsewhere? Or do you want to be self employed? Or do you want to be a full time mom and not traditionally employed? What in your mind right now equates to the end result that would make you feel like you were on the right path? Now, if you don't know what that is, that's okay. A lot of people find being stuck causes confusion and doubt and overanalyzing of things. So they don't even know where to seek the light because they can't even see it, like it's that far away. If this is you, find yourself a coach stat. If you've worked with a coach before, you know how incredibly helpful this experience can be. And if you haven't, you should absolutely go find one or at least book yourself a few discovery calls to find the right one for you. You might be thinking that the investment feels unnecessary or too expensive, but to that, I'll just say, what's more valuable? Being in a place where you're unstuck and aligned at this time in 12 months and feeling your best, or feeling the same exact way next year, same spot, standing in the same place, same shoes on, even. Now, when you look at it this way, I think you can easily flip the script on the necessity of an investment like this. Once you know what's making you feel stuck and what feeling unstuck looks like to you, you're going to want to map out some goals to get you there. For example, if you're looking to make more money, what do you need to do to make this happen? There could be multiple pathways to get there. You could get a promotion or a raise. You could start a side hustle, or you could start your own business. You could sell clothes that you no longer wear on Poshmark or Facebook Marketplace. There are lots of possibilities. And after you've brainstormed a list, you'll be able to lean into what feels right. You may even think of some new ideas as you do this that you hadn't even considered before. In my new program, Biz Management Club, we do an exercise like this related to business startups, where we uncover different revenue paths you could be generating in one single business. It's a really eye opening experience to see what makes sense on paper, but also what feels good internally to you. Okay, step 3 is the most important. You need to take action every single day to work toward that goal. It doesn't and likely won't always be something major on the daily basis, but when you look back on your week, on your month, on your quarter, you are going to feel amazed at the progress you've made. And the icing on the cake here is that not only will that end result be so rewarding, the journey getting there is going to be just as sweet. Every day you take action, You make some sort of progress, even if it feels like you're going backwards some days. And trust me, I know that feeling. It's a win to celebrate. It's you feeling more unstuck than you've ever felt before. All right, we are going to move on to the last step here, step 4, where it's a little bit sprinkled in along the way. It's not so linear. So, along the way, you should get into the habit and the space of doing this regularly, frequently, all the time. And what that is surrounding yourself with people, with books, with podcasts, with IG accounts, with events, you name it, that are lifting you up and not bringing you down. You need to get into the habit of being in a room where you're inspired. You need to have conversations with people who are killing it at life so you can learn from them. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people who are potentially juggling similar aspects of life and not using those things as excuses, but opportunities to make their dreams come true. You need to read the books of the authors who have been there and are sharing their best tips with you to get here. You need to not be afraid to invest in yourself because you're worth it. Your family is worth it. Your life is worth it. Your legacy is worth it. Your idea is worth it. And getting that support is not a maybe, it's a must. Now, I'm putting this into really simple steps here, and that's because we've only got limited time here together on the podcast, and because I want to remind you that if this episode is resonating with you, is hitting home on a deeper level, is speaking to your soul, I want to help you. There's a reason you're tuning in. There's a reason this is playing for you right now. There's a reason your world and mine have crossed in this way. I want to talk to you. I want to learn about you. I want to listen to your stuckness. And then I want to motivate the shit out of you with feedback, tips, accountability to get you to where you want to be. So I am dropping in the show notes a link to connect directly with me for 45 minutes uninterrupted, your time to talk about you and what you want and get the support you need. Now, as you know, I'm a mom of 4. I work about 25 hours a week and I value my time tremendously. So even though it might sound crazy for me to throw this out there on a public podcast, a highly rated podcast, number 28 out of the top 50 podcasts for moms in 2021, I trust that opening myself up in this way will allow me to help the people who truly want and need my support right now. So with that said, if this is you, schedule your time to connect with me ASAP. Head over to the show notes right now and let's chat. Thank you for listening as always. I appreciate you. I love you. I can't wait to talk to you. You've been listening to the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and would love if you could take a quick minute to leave me a review on whichever platform you're listening from, and maybe even send a note to a fellow mama friend recommending it. Reviews and recs help this podcast grow and reach more like-minded, awesome moms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click that button so we can stay in touch, girl. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Mama Work It website, please do. There are lots of free resources and great articles there that can help you with the juggle of work life, mom life, wife life, fill in the blank life. So head on over. Thanks again for being part of the tribe. I'll see you soon, but in the meantime, keep on working it, mama.